Okay, sound effects.
Yay.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Hey New Friends podcast. I am your host, Carter Sade.
And I am Sade Love.
And today we are just super excited to not just be in the building, but Happy New Year!
Happy 2021. We made it through an entire pandemic. Well, we're still
in the pandemic, but you right, like 2020 was like super crazy.
Give yourself a pat on the back for surviving. Even if you feel like you didn't accomplish anything that was on your list, you survived and you are here in one piece.
One piece, because I do feel like, it's just even crazy to say that we are in 2021 because, 2020 came and gone, right? You know, we were super excited. It was like, what is it, decade? The 20? We made another decade. I think I did when I graduated high school, telling my age. But when I graduated from high school, I was like, Dad, you know, it was 2010. Now we in 2020. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, wow, that's great. And now 2021, I'm just like, what happened to 2020? Because of the pandemic, I felt like we did miss a lot of the year.
It's so crazy. Everybody was like 2020 vision. You know, this is my year. It was a year of manifestation.
Yeah, I was going to say, so what was your 2020? What did you think your 2020 was about to look like?
Honestly, when I came into 2020, my word of the year was still, STILL. It was still. I felt like I needed to be present in the moment in everything that I was going through, that I'm constantly chasing after something, trying to figure out what I can achieve next. What country can I travel to? And I'm always thinking about the next, that I was never present. And so, you know, I kind of manifest, not the pandemic, but I manifest this time to be still, right?
I think I manifested just being doing my own thing. Because I think that the top of the year, I set these goals. Remember, I wanted to do real estate, and I was like, I'm going to do real estate. That's going to be my transition to being an entrepreneur full-time, but it would be steady income, and I did that, took the classes, didn't finish that journey, but then the pandemic hit, and I was still able to do the stuff that I ultimately wanted to do. And I think that, like I said, in the beginning of the year, I started off knowing that 2020 was going to be the year I did my own thing.
And I think that's so important, though, because even if you think about purpose and transitions, right?
Yeah.
That you can pick something up, and when you decide you're done with it, or that it wasn't necessarily for you, that you can put it down and you can pick it back up again. Because just because you started that real estate journey, it may not be for right now,
right? But
it's somewhere along your path. You're going to use that.
Right, definitely. And so that actually kind of sets the tone to what we're going to be talking about today. Like, this episode is going to be all about transition, seasons of life, season through the year, because, what better thing to talk about as we start off the year?
Of course, transitions. They can be referenced as growing pains, transitions.
Or even still seasons. I think that's, when you think about a transition, sometimes, like you said, there's growing pains, there's seasons of quietness. It can just look like so many different things.
Yeah, and definitely varying from person to person. And so now that I'm moving out of my still season, I'm excited to walk into a new season, and I can feel the new season kind of really being this season of being light, just being
I feel
present.
like you are naturally light, though.
But I feel like I don't always share light, right?
I don't know, y'all. I think she might be capping just a little bit.
Well, I know, right? Okay. I know a lot of times that God puts certain things on my heart. He puts words in my mind, or, and I write a lot of things, and I never share any of these things. I keep them to myself.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know that you write, but I do know that when you speak, it's okay, but I think naturally being around you, people would say that you are light. It just comes out in conversation. You just when she talk, you be like, oh, let me listen. Type stuff.
Yeah. You would catch it because normally when we're together, it's in a natural habitat. Mm-hmm. It's somewhere where I feel safe, I feel secure, that I can say whatever it is that I need to say.
Yeah.
And I know that it's going to be received. I don't have to put a disclaimer on it. I don't have to tell a backstory to it. And I never have to preference my intentions because I'm around people that I feel safe with. We've known each other since we were 10, 12.
I always try to think about the age, Yeah, I always try to think about the age, but yeah, we've known each other for a little minute.
So you're looking at about 15,
At least 15 years.
Yeah, at the least 15 years of each other. So that looks different than when I go into an environment with somebody else.
I digress. Okay. So you're saying this season for you, this transition season for you is, what is it again?
It's
I
actually,
forgot that quick.
I never really said.
Like, okay,
I know,
okay,
no, I never really.
I
guess thinking about it, I would say that I am welcoming all of the gifts that God has given me. I am using my voice more often, and I am allowing myself to be a light in different spaces that I go into.
Okay, so I think for me, like, something that I guess I feel like, you know, they say be careful what you ask for because you just might get it.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm in the season of I want to ask God for something that I know I need for growth, but I'm scared to ask Him because then it's gonna open up to me feeling things, right? So you're gonna feel this, and for me, it's like just in being full transparency, it's gonna feel negative, like just opening yourself up to some types of healing. I know healing doesn't feel, you know, good all the time. So I'm almost afraid to put it out there right now, like what it is that I know, but I know that I want to go to the next level in my life personally. And in order to do so, I gotta feel these pains, these quote unquote growing pains, in order to welcome healing.
But I think one thing about pain and one thing about transitions that we often don't talk about is the perspective. If you put it in your mind that this is going to be a negative experience, it's automatically going to be a negative experience because.
But you know, when God starts shining the light on your problem areas, you be like, okay, I know you told me not to do that. Like, okay, I shouldn't have reacted that way. I should have done this. And then you be like, okay, I'm paying attention to the area now. And then when you put in a situation, you want to react that way, and you got to tell yourself not to do it. I'm triggered, but don't do it. Like,
but I think it's one of those things of choice or force, right?
Okay.
So God is like, I'm gonna give you the choice. I can give you a polite tap on your shoulder, and I can say, Crystal, you know that wasn't right, or we can let you go far and get deep into it, and then something happen where it's a really negative experience, but it forces you to make that change.
Right. Okay. That's fair. So I'm going to think about it more because we're going to be, you know, I'm already in the new year, and I need to figure out what it is that I really want to put my staple on. Well, something that I know is going to push me to the edge, like push me to that next level, because outside of that, I already know what I want to manifest for career. I know what I want to manifest things for like that. You know, you say like one area of your life, you be like, oh, that's good. Check the boxes. I know what I'm doing here. It's that other area you be like, all right, I don't really know what I'm doing in that area. I guess I should look at it. Yeah.
But I think, right, that's a part of being spirit-led. Yeah. That's a part of using discretion. That's a part of knowing yourself too, right? Because even with me, like, you know, I know that God talks to me, right?
Right.
And I know how God talks to me. But in those
that is
moments,
a whole nother conversation.
A whole different conversation.
Oh, I want to get into that because I know too.
In those moments, though, I think I'm one of those people that, like, God almost forces me, right? Like, even this transition season that I'm in right now, like, when you first bought your house, I really should have moved in.
Facts.
And
I kept saying it. Oh, we should just share the story because I kept saying it, and I think there was a little bit of hesitation, even like probably more so on your end than it was my end, because I was more so like, oh, just come live with me. Like, it'll be great. And he was like, and then once you started being like, I was kind of like, oh, you know, maybe it's different going from like, you know, separate spaces because I'm used to being by myself now too, and just what that was going to look like.
Well, I think for me, I'm always trying to figure out, well, she just bought this house. Like, does she want to share it with somebody already?
Girl, I wanted a whole husband and some kids anyway. So, I mean, I got a dog.
A dog that I hate. But I think, you know, I'm thinking like, oh, how is this going to be? You know, like, I haven't had a roommate since college. What does this look like?
Yeah.
You know, I'm comfortable where I live at. You know, all of these different things. And I was just like, you know, okay, when my lease is up, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, unfortunately, God was like, you know, like, when you know better, you do better, right?
Right.
And because you know that God talks to you and because you know that you hear God, I got something for you, is basically what he said. And I think in so many stories that he allows me to walk through the fire and never be burned, right? And
That's good.
so
That's real good.
like, he like, okay, you didn't move when I told you to move. You knew that you should have moved. It was a blessing in it for the both of you two. And, you know, you're blocking somebody else's blessing because of what you're feeling. And so I got carjacked, y'all. Like, legit.
I'm not trying to laugh, but
it's not funny.
It's not,
God.
but the fact that you just said it when you said it made it funny. But yeah, she got carjacked, y'all.
Yes, I really got carjacked, y'all. Like, it was really like a traumatic experience. And I'm not saying that, like, emotionally, I was fine. Like, honestly, I really was. I felt, you know, violated that somebody stole my car. And they stole it in the front of us. Like, it was literally, we were literally 3 steps away from this carjacking. But, you know, I wasn't harmed. I wasn't hurt. You know, a lot of my material possessions were stolen, but I got back, you know, more. And that's the importance, you know, y'all. Please have insurance. Have insurance on everything.
That disclaimer right there. Have insurance on everything.
Life insurance, home insurance.
And if you're in the city, don't even leave your car in the keys in the car for 3 minutes.
Even if you're standing right there.
Seconds.
It was literally 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That happened in like 30 seconds. But I'm saying all of this to say that when you don't do what God told you to do.
The first time.
Oh,
I just got it like the light just came on. Go ahead.
The first time, your transition can look a lot differently than what it was supposed to look, right?
Yes, because I think, like, in that instance, it's drastic. And I'm just thinking about a time in my life, like, even in a relationship, when God told me to leave so much longer before than I actually left. And I was just like, oh, no, it'll get better. You know, love struck when we super young. We just like, we have it all figured out. And it literally took for God to do the most drastic thing for me to be like, okay, my car is in the middle of the house. Or, okay, like, all these things would happen. I'm like, all right, this is the end of it. This is the end of it. But then you ask yourself, like, why do I have to feel pain in order to leave? Then I think that's a whole nother conversation that you need to have, because it's like, you don't leave on a good note when it feels good, when it's okay. You got to have this experience that could be damaging in order for you to say, okay, enough.
It's enough.
Like, you beat yourself up.
And I think the real conversation or the real takeaway from that, because I even got, like, you know, experiences in relationships that I'm like, girl, you should have, let's not even talk about it.
Yeah.
But I think what needs to be normalized is you can leave a relationship when you are happy. You do not have to stay in this relationship. Like, you have to normalize leaving, because sometimes people are just not for you. Like, it was just not meant for you. That person may not have been for you.
Yeah.
And I think when you know it's real, you will know.
Girl,
like, it's no,
you surely will.
It's no doubt in your mind. Like, you will know that it's for you. And I think a lot of times we stay too long because we want something bad to happen. Like, ooh, they gotta have a baby. They gotta cheat on me. They gotta do this. Because you be like,
this makes no logical sense. Like, you know, this person is actually a good person. This person does look good on paper. This person does this, does check off this box. But y'all two might not even really be connecting for real.
At all.
Like, you just like, oh, we go out, we look nice, we take great pictures, but y'all ain't got no chemistry. Yeah. Like, but everybody else think y'all got chemistry because y'all taking great pictures.
And so just figuring out how to transition or how to leave gracefully, right?
Yeah.
Because it don't have to be a big blow up. Like, transitions don't always have to be sad. They don't have to be bad. Yeah. You know, this can really be walking into a new period of life and being graceful in that period because you left quietly or because you did it, you know, when God told you to do it, that he will transition you and literally escort you through that phase in your life where you will go and be untouched.
Definitely. And let's talk about transitions being quiet, because I do think that it is a thing. Like, when you talked about being still, and I think when I think of being still, I think of being quiet. And I think sometimes we think that we're supposed to be busy, like busy doing something, moving. And in that transition season, God can cause you literally to focus on one thing and not the 5 things that you're used to focusing on, but literally putting all of your energy and time into that one thing. And it looks really quiet. So you like, this ain't the normal. Like, I'm not used to that. I'm used to multitasking. I'm used to working on 5 projects at one time. And now you're asking me to just focus on this one thing and let everybody else and everything else fall by the wayside. Like, what?
I think silent seasons is when you really have to you have to know.
Yeah, that
Like,
you're in that season.
or you have to know your creator. You have to
Yeah.
know what it is and really feel led and feel guided, because a quiet season can easily turn into depression, and
Definitely.
you never know what it was that you were struggling with or what you were going through at that moment. You know, it goes from laying in the bed all day to not making up your bed, to your room getting junky,
I know.
and you know, just manifesting into
Yeah.
different things. And so when you know your purpose attached to this still or this quiet season, or what it is that you're trying to focus in or what you're trying to hone in on, I think it's better, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a part of being connected to who
Yeah,
you are.
because I think it is better when you can identify like a reason you're in this season.
Yeah.
Because then you know like what the final goal is, and even if you don't necessarily can put your hand on what the goal is, you know that you're going through this for a reason.
And you can kind of see
Yeah.
or be the light in the tunnel, right?
Right.
Because it feels dark, and sometimes you feel alone. You feel like nobody else is there, or
Definitely.
that you're going through this by yourself.
Definitely.
But one thing, like one quote I always think about is like, elevation requires separation. And that separation can mean so many different things. It could mean separation from social media, separation from people, separation, you know, from ideas, from thoughts, whatever it is. But sometimes you have to go and you have to be isolated so that you can really focus and see it. And sometimes I know for me, that my still season, it showed me. It was like me against me. Like, okay, you say that you love God, or you praying.
So back to that, the little thing I said, I was like, okay, that's supposed to be my affirmation for the year. It probably got something to do with the still season. And I'm like, no, because 2020 was lit. In 2021, I need to keep moving. And I think he's kind of like, nah, you about to focus on this. And that's it.
Yeah, like you really have to figure it out. It was me against me. It was unlearning, you know, childhood behaviors, you know, some of the things that I learned being in college, you know, thinking just like that everything is by merit, and that you keep working hard. You keep trying to achieve, you know, chasing goals.
Yeah, you never even sit still
You
long
never
enough
sit
to
still.
congratulate yourself on the moment or the accomplishment that you just had, because you're already working on what's next.
On next. And that's me. That I'm always constantly, what can I do next? What can I achieve next?
Yeah.
That I can't even stop and really say that I ever celebrated myself on all of those things. Or when people tell me congratulations, not being able to take those compliments.
And I think for me, it was more of like when people tell me congratulations, I didn't take the compliments. I just always gave one back immediately. And they say, you know, that's deflection of you not sitting in your moment too.
And feeling like you can't do that. Or, you know, like for me, I had to reimagine even what it means to be humble and what it means to not gloat or to not do all of these things, because my idea of it is to let stuff just talk itself. Or I let my family, my friends, everybody post my achievements or whatever it is. And social media, that's a whole different thing. But I just within myself, that I was not celebrating myself. I wasn't celebrating these moments of success that I was continuing, you know, like even.
Yeah, because you was lit. You had a whole nice little run of really being lit, and it's still happening. But I do think you are like one of the people who's like stepping stones. Like, okay, did that, next. Yeah, and I feel like that, I don't know, I feel like that low-key would drive me insane.
No, you know, it was almost like adrenaline. Like, what
for some people,
it's
literally like a high, and you keep chasing it. And then for others, like myself, it'd be like, oh no, I'm tired. Because you know me, I'll take a nap any minute. Like,
but I think that's rooted almost in that strong black woman syndrome. That you got to keep going. And that as black women, you know, that the playing field is not level.
Definitely.
You know, and that as a black woman, on paper, I need to look good before somebody wants to talk to me. On paper, I need to look like this. I need to sound like this. I need to be able to write like this. I need to be able to do all of these things. Buying into the American dream. And the American dream was never made for me. And so I had to stop and think, what does any of this stuff even mean to me, right?
Yeah.
And when I envision myself and who I want to show up as every single day, what does this woman even look like?
Those are real questions.
For real, like, what does this woman look like? What kind of qualities does she have? What kind of characteristics does she have?
Agreed.
You know, what does people say about her? And not that I care so much about
but I think to an extent, in that way, you should.
Right, because I think about my legacy. When I leave, what are people gonna get up at my funeral and say? Like, what kind of thing? Yeah, I think about that.
I need a lit funeral, so I need people to get up there with the nice speeches, the crying eyes too, but I need y'all to really feel my soul. Like,
period.
Feel my soul in the earth. Be like, dag, like, wow, that was a good one. That was a real one.
Yeah, like, I want people to be able to say, like, you know, her leaving the earth leaves a gap.
Yes.
You know,
yes, like, we need to feel it and feel out what we got to do next, like to keep the work going, keep the manifestations and legacy alive. Like
the marathon continues.
Agreed.
Nipsey, period.
Nipsey.
But value and rest. At the same time, we value rest, and self-care, self-love, and making sure that you are, you know, able to pour into other people after you've already been pouring into. So
I like it. I love it, actually. I love it. That was good. So we should make some affirmations for us, the family. Hey, new friends that's watching. Hey, we should definitely make some affirmations. What you got? First come, first serve.
First come, first serve. As I walk into 2021, I welcome new transitions, positive energy, and the love that I give. I am willing to receive it.
Ooh, I like it. That was really, really wait. We did this on a whim because we love y'all. So wait, do you remember what you just said?
Nah, honey, we're gonna have to run that back.
We're gonna have to rewind that because that was actually really good. I think I'm just gonna run with one of my favorites, and I'm gonna share it with y'all in this season. That we're gonna go into this season feeling like I am capable, and I'm able to create opportunities for myself and for others. Like, that's going to be the one that I'm probably going to run with because I think that we are all called to better the earth, better our neighbors, better the earth. And, you know, as a community, as we're building one another up, even in this community, like, it's our responsibilities to check on our neighbors and make sure everybody's doing all right. So I like those. We're definitely going to have to run them back.
Yeah, I mean, my purpose is attached to your purpose. My purpose is attached to your life. And, you know, when we think about everybody that we meet, especially in Hey New Friends and what we leave them with, I think it's
important.
It's important.
I mean, but it means a lot to my heart for sure because you do want you want to know the experience that people have when they encounter you, and you hope that experience is one that they feel like is life-changing or even just altered their thinking just a little bit in a way that enhanced their life.
Yeah. So, what was you said it the other day? You experience people not
when I was in my sappy feelings. I said that people are meant to be experienced, not controlled.
Yeah, and so this platform, even thinking about Hey New Friends, this is an experience, you know, that we want everybody to feel, you know, to instantly. And you know what? My word is always love. That's it. That's it.
Sade love.
And when I started saying that, you know, it was because that's what I wanted to be the embodiment of. I wanted it in whatever love feels like to you. When you encounter me, that's what I wanted people to feel. So that's also another one of my words for 2021.
Okay, you can have it. I like it. I love all of it. We're definitely going to write those down and share them in the group. But we would love to hear from you guys. What are some of the words that you're going to use for 2020 to describe your year? And then also let us know your affirmations. We are going to share them next episode. So if you have any affirmations that you're using for the year, let us know what it is. You can email us at info@heynewfriends.com. Again, it's info@heynewfriends.com. We would love to know how you guys are going into the new year.
Yeah, even name this year. Yeah. What is this the year of? The year of yes, the year of no, the year of unlearning everything that I've learned in 2020. Whatever it is, name this year. Give it a name and stick to it the entire 12 months and see how life-changing it could be for you.
I like that. Well, thank you for sharing this space with me.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
See you guys later. Hey, new friends.